What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another EU4 time lapse, and this is a series that I like to call The World Through the Eyes of Europe. Well, what do I mean by that? We've removed Africa. So Africa is completely uncolonized. There are no people that live there outside of uncivilized natives who don't have national borders and armies, so basically how Europe saw Africa when they decided to go in and, well, take it all for themselves. With that, let's check out and see what happens if we delete Africa from EU4. Early on, we're going to see the normal expansion that we see in sort of the standard countries. We've got the Timurids, they're expanding into Transylvania. We've got France trying to sort of unify themselves, and we've got England, I guess, doing English things. They'll probably go for Ireland, but it'll be really interesting to see how colonizing works when we do finally get there, because there are going to be so many more options. And one of the things I'm really intrigued to see, does this result in a strong native? Because of the fact that the Europeans might actually focus more on colonizing Africa, leaving North and South America to those native tribes if they can get to a point where they have the strength to hold their territory. We've got Muscovy expanding, as Muscovy usually does. The Ottomans just took Wallachia, and France is consolidating that territory. So the normal powers that we see that are dominant in EU4 are slowly gaining their strength. We have seen our first bit of colonization, and this is the one that I thought that we would see. If there's any country that I was curious about who would benefit from this, I really thought Portugal. They are starting to colonize that sort of Tunisian, Moroccan region. And they just get such a big head start on colonization over the rest of everyone else. I thought grabbing those African provinces could be huge for them. England is on the verge of unifying the islands. It looks like they've won a war against Scotland, and Ireland is under their control. Norway has been taken by Denmark. It'd be interesting if they go exploration. We could see maybe a colonial Denmark because they have Iceland. That's a quick hop, skip, and a jump to North America. In Asia, China, we've got China's falling apart as it usually does. Myanmar looks like it might be the dominant power in India. And the Timurids are looking good. Seeing a sort of a really solid Timurid, it'll be interesting to see if we get the Mughals out of this time lapse. Muscovy is actually falling apart. Wow, Perm just took a huge chunk, so we are not going to see Russia this game. Denmark actually took a lot of Novgorod, and the Ottomans are eating everything. We've got the Ottomans, they have taken Hungary. Looks like Austria isn't there. Perm is strong. Sweden is starting to fight back against Denmark, and the colonizers are just taking all over. Little bits and pieces of Africa are starting to pop up. Different colors. Sweden continues to expand, and England still has not finished off Scotland. Sweden was able to unify the sort of the Nordic states there, minus Denmark, before England was able to unify the islands. Castile has lost territory to Aragon. That is interesting to see how that will impact things, because that is going to weaken the Castilian ability to colonize, although we do see some colonies there appearing in Southern America there. Cusco has managed to unify almost that entire Incan region. That would be a game changer in this timeline if they are able to form Inca, get the colonists. Now all of a sudden we're in a position where there might be territory that isn't normally available to them, that's, well, available to them, because we don't see Portugal going for South America. We do see Castile going for it, but there are going to be less colonizers taking that land, although it does appear Portugal has landed in Mexico, although they are currently losing some of their territory to the natives there. So, I mean, you take what you can get, am I right? Timurids continue to be the powerhouse in Asia. And actually, I think Ayatollah just took a chunk out of Ming. I was just about to comment about how Ming has actually managed to hold relatively strong in this video, something we don't see very often, and then boom, lost a chunk of territory. Greece has just appeared out of the Ottomans, who are completely falling apart. We've got Bulgaria, we've got Greece, we've got Trebizond, we've got a whole bunch of countries there. And this is my favorite part of the time lapse. Fungi popped up around 1690, and I love the idea of them just sitting there and being like, where is everyone? Like, what, we're the only one? We're the only ones who decided to, unite and become a nation? Yeah, I don't think that's going to end super well for them going forward. Brazil does exist, so we do see some of those colonies getting their independence, and Cusco has fallen to the Castilians, who were able to push the Aragonese out of, or nearly out of Iberia. That was so unfortunate. We got so close to seeing Inca form naturally by the AI. I believe the Dutch just took fungi, so they tried and it didn't work out for them. The Mughals are solid. That's cool to see them form. Europe is going to be weird. I'm really looking forward to taking a close up on Europe and seeing exactly what is going on down there. I think we've got Florida that controls a little bit of Florida. I was going to say it doesn't control any of Florida, but controls a little bit. And then Canada is just, Quebec. Canada is just being eaten by, I think France just invaded Canada. Why am I not surprised at all by that? Hey, fungi's back. And Castile just has South America. They just said, this is ours, and sorry, but not sorry. Poland and Lithuania just decided to not form the Commonwealth and dominate Eastern Europe together. No, guys, still doing solid. Bengal, actually, and you know, my Vyanyar prediction was completely wrong. Bahamas was the one who came out on top, with the Mughals continuing to do, well, quite well for themselves. Florida, French, because actually the French colonies in North America are quite powerful. I would argue maybe more, I'd say they're probably about equal with the British colonies that we see over there also. And what's interesting to me here is we're almost at the end of this time lapse, and there's still territory in Africa that hasn't been taken. Actually, the almost complete disdain for Africa that the Europeans showed in this video, it's almost like they only go for Africa because there are countries there. And I know the AI is weird with trade nodes, and they oftentimes don't colonize territory if it's not upstream from a trade node. And so I don't know if there might be something with some of those territories with that. But like if there were people there, the AI would take it. But because there's no people there, they're just like, yeah, no, we're good. You do you. The Papal States went expansive. They took Greece, so we got southern Italy and Greece. Milan taking the Balkans. Trent pretending that they're Austria, and then Poland eating everything, with Munster taking the Netherlands and Denmark is just like, what in the world am I looking at here? Nizhny Novgorod is not something we see every day. Cyprus controlling the city of the world's desire in 1821 is just perfect. I don't know what this Egypt thing you guys are talking about. That's Holland. I love some of these countries like Fulo that they didn't exist because we got rid of everything there, and then they popped up, I'm pretty sure out of like rebels that popped up, and they're like, hey, we are a country, like he just deleted us, but really we're here. It's very important to be able to tell the difference between Canada, French Canada, Canadian North America, the rest of French Canada, and French Alberta. It's just, I mean, you gotta know which one of these Canadian places you're in. It's very confusing up there. These United States are definitely not unified. Iceland just chilling as usual. The Mughals took China. Just skipped over Bengal and the Orient and said, China, you're ours. Religiously, the world's a lot messier than I thought it would be. Catholic is not dominant outside of Spain and like that Milan, Trent, Papal States weird thing that's going on in Southern Europe. We've got Reformed in the West, Protestant in the East. The Reformed seem to have taken a large portion of North America, but the British are Anglican, so we've got that all over the place also. We've got Tengri up in northeastern Asia, and then the fetish still exist in Africa. Culturally, Africa is very European, and I'm a big fan of that just Dutch Egypt. It's perfect. I have no other words to describe Dutch Egypt than perfect. It looks like England and Castile are the same dynasty, the De Trastamaras. They were able to put their people on the throne. France decided to go completely democratic, so we do not see a dynasty there. Poland, Lithuania, they do have the same dynasty. And not only that, Lithuania was the junior partner of Poland. Economically, the world's development is focused, unsurprisingly, in Europe. Not only that, but the Europeans have had zero desire to build up Africa. It is very, very underdeveloped in Africa and in South America. Basically, wherever the Europeans went to colonize, they did not build up, they just exploited it. So, hey, at least paradox is historically accurate, am I right? And finally, we have the great powers of the world. In the #1 spot is the Mughals, followed closely by Great Britain, Revolutionary Castile, and Poland as the 4 countries with over 2,000 development. Revolutionary France has 1,300, Bengal with 1,100, Bahamas with 1,000, and Nizhny Novgorod with 902 development. Honestly, the most surprising thing about this is not seeing a European at the top of this list, given how big of a jump they had over the rest of the world with the colonizing and the fact that, well, they colonized more than the rest of the world, and there was an entire continent available for free. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what part of the world you want to see deleted next. It could be a continent. It could be a country. It could be a region. Let me know what you guys want to see, and we'll start deleting some countries. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Wreath out.